Hi everybody, Ted Jordan with Professional Acting for the Long Haul. Now last week we talked about after you got the training and how long you should be training for. About 6 to 10 intensified weeks is what you need to be working on. After that, what are you going to be doing? Well, you're going to be looking for an agent, or you'll be looking for work, or you could be doing both at the same time. Let's start with the agent first. Now you're just starting out, right? And you have 6 to 10 weeks of this intensified training. You're all hopped up, you're ready to go, you're ready to get paid, right? Okay, so you go to an agent. Again, what should you have? You should have a letter of introduction, email, because that's the fastest way to communicate with them. And you should also have a headshot. Now these days, your camera phones take very good pictures. So selfies aren't necessarily a bad thing. Make sure it's a solid background when you're taking the shot, and it should be from, chest to the top of your head. Don't cut the top of your head off though, don't do that. Now, your resume. Well, your resume, you're just starting off in this thing, so you really don't have a solid acting resume yet. And people understand that, especially when you let them know that you're just getting started. So what do? You send them relative information about what you could be doing as an actor. Maybe you speak a foreign language. Maybe you're a race car driver. Maybe you're an equestrian. Put all these kind of relative information, pieces of information down on your resume so people know that you have some kind of skill set and you do character voices or something along those lines. And you can demonstrate that. And whatever you do, don't lie on your resume. Don't do that. I've caught people before, and it's really embarrassing for them. And again, it's a lack of integrity and character. And let me tell you something. Integrity and character in this business will take you a long way. Far more than you being a brown noser and a butt kisser. If you treat people with respect and value, no matter what their title in life, you'll get much further with people that have more respect for you. All right, now, going back to the agent. He or she is looking for experienced people who they can make money with, okay? If you show them a bang-up opportunity, meaning that you go into the audition process and you just knock it out of the park, you have a better shot at being signed, being a newbie, than someone who doesn't have that skill set. Now, there are very few people who really have that thing that people say, ooh, man, I know you don't have a lot of skill right now, or a lot of experience right now, but man, I think we can make some money together. And they'll sign you. Now, if you get signed by an agent, there's an exclusive clause and a non-exclusive clause in here. What's the difference? The difference is non-exclusive means you can work with other agents and agencies within that market. Now, we're in St. Louis, so if you're in St. Louis or Iowa or other places around town, I would not dare sign exclusive with anyone. The market's not big enough for that. Now, if you're in New York or LA, that's a different story. They have different segments of agents for theater, for commercial work, and so on. So it's a whole different market. It's a much larger market and a whole lot more competitive market. Now, you're just getting started and you want to work, okay? There's some free work out there. There's some good free work. As a matter of fact, that's how we started off doing our filmmaking. There's a lot of great filmmakers out there with some fantastic content. Working for free is not a bad thing. You just don't want to stay there for too long. Now, when you do this work, where can you find it? St. Louis Auditions here in St. Louis is one. Maybe there are other websites on Facebook and some other places where you can get that work, and some paying gigs too. Now, again, I don't want to go too far afield with that, but I'm just wanting to stay focused because there's so much information that I could give to you. Now, where else can you find work? Through the universities. Webster University here is another great place. They have young and up-and-coming filmmakers, students who are looking for actors to be in their student films. That's another way to build your resume and network with some fantastic people in your area. Facebook is another area. Now, if you're not sure about agents or agencies, contact the local casting directors. They know all about them. Why? Because they deal with them all the time. So make sure you're making the research, doing your research, and making the contacts. Now, I would never ever tell anybody again to sign exclusively with anyone. unless it's New York or LA. So make sure you don't do that, because if you do, here's what happens. You can only work with that agency. And the only reason why they want you to be exclusive with them is because they don't want to chase you down and they don't want to have to compete for your time. I had 3 agents when I was in New Orleans. Here's the way it went down. One would call me at 11, one would call me at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the other would call me because they had a full-time job / they were doing being an agent part-time. So they would call me like late in the evening by about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And guess who I went with? The one who called me first. It kept down a lot of mess, it kept the integrity in place, and it kept everything else in line. So again, I had options. I like to use this analogy, and I'll close with this. It's like being a fisherman. How many fish can you catch with 1 hook? Okay, how many more can you catch with 3 hooks? Right, 3 times as much. So if you do that, that's the same thing with an agent. See, you're an independent contractor. See, you can turn down work. You don't have to do certain jobs because you're an independent contractor, okay? So that means you can do this job or not do that job. See what I'm saying? So there's a lot of nuances to this industry, a lot of layers to it. I hope this was helpful to you, and contact us by all means at crossingjordanentertainment.studio. You can email us there, or you can email us at professionalactingforthelonghall@yahoo.com. Again, thank you very much for your time. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please share it. And hey, send us your contact information or contact us with questions you might have. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.